Hey everyone, and welcome. This is welcome to digital art. Welcome to Intro to Digital Art, strictly online. Don't have to come in. I'm your instructor, Jackie. I'm going to be posting videos every week of telling you what to do in this class and how to do it. This class is going to be online completely. But if your computer doesn't work or if something is going on, I'm going to have an open lab on Wednesdays at FA1, Fine Art Building, which is where I am. And so you'll be able to come in, get instruction from me, and you can use Photoshop and Illustrator on the computers at school. So, well, actually, it's not Illustrator. We're just using Photoshop. We're using Photoshop, and then I've let students use Canva if they want, and Figma if they want, if they're more comfortable in those environments. Just really up to you. But yeah, I want to go over the syllabus and then discuss your first assignment and just kind of let you know how this class is going to be laid out, how to navigate it. So yeah, my name is Jackie. I teach full-time I teach mainly digital art in the art department at Porterville College. I was a graphic designer since I graduated in 2002. Oh my God, dating myself here, 25 years almost of being a graphic designer. And now we're called user experience designers. UX designers is really the modern term now, because we don't really make physical graphics as much, physical things. We still do, but it's not nearly as easy to get a job doing, good old physical graphic design. Everything is in the digital sphere, made for these things. So, so we're going to talk about Photoshop. Photoshop is the industry standard. It has been my whole life. I took Photoshop in undergrad when I went to community college, and then I transferred to UCSC. I was down in San Diego. I'm a California kid. I moved to Silicon Valley in 2005 when my friend called and said, "Hey, I just got this job at this place called Facebook. You should come out here. There's a lot of opportunity." So I moved to San Francisco. I'd always wanted to live in San Francisco. And then I went to grad school out there. I ended up working, not at startups. I did a couple startups, but I ended up working at Stanford. And I worked there for 7 years as a web developer. And it was an interesting time. Everything was changing. Instagram was invented. Twitter was invented, all during my time in Silicon Valley. So I've watched the industry change and ebb and flow. So I have a lot of insight to where we're at now. And I want you guys to be kind of aware of why things are the way they are. I know a lot of you, you were born in 2005 or 6 or 7? Wow. Or 8. So that was when Twitter and Instagram came out. So to me, they're new, but to you, it's only what you've known, right? So I want to kind of like dispel some of these myths, help you understand what digital art really can do and what it's about. And then hopefully you'll want to be a digital artist yourself. And there is money to be made in this profession, and I'm not afraid of AI. So in fact, we use AI in this class. And you could choose not to use AI. If you absolutely hate AI, then you don't have to use. There's a built-in feature inside Photoshop that wants you to start playing with it. And I think of it as a tool, just like the internet is a tool. And when I went to college, they didn't know what the internet was. So my degree is like in new media because they didn't even know what it was. I studied a lot of film because they didn't understand how to teach it yet. And now here we are 20-something years later, and now this new tool has come out. So I'm pretty prepared to help you navigate the world of design. And this is the beginning of a succession of classes. If you're interested, I am changing the major from commercial art. Next year, it'll be called digital design. So you can get a degree, an AA degree in digital design, where I make you do a portfolio and I make you take a bunch of classes like this. And you can take some studio classes too. It's kind of a mix and match of trying to figure out who you are That's my goal, is to help you navigate the world, and the world is confusing and it's complicated and there's a lot of things going on. And so I am here for that. And digital art is a great stepping stone. It's a great beginning for that. And I'm excited to have all of you here. This is the first time I'm launching this class strictly online, and I'm doing kind of a test to see who wants to be in person, who wants to be online for this class. I was kind of like you. I would prefer to work at home on my own computer instead of being in the lab at school. But I also understand that some of you need one-on-one interaction. So that's why I'm offering an in-person time. And also, I'm very available. I'm at school every day, Monday through Thursday. So if you're in Porterville, you can stop by and make an appointment with me or just say hi. We have a lot of really cool things going on in the art department. We're making murals in the city. We're doing a lot of fun things. We have popcorn. We have events. We're having a film festival this semester. I also teach animation. That's going to be in person, but it's also a hybrid class. I'm also teaching digital portfolio. So if you wanted to take those classes, start late. And they're also hybrid, which means if you are in Bakersfield or if you're somewhere else and you're taking this class, you don't physically have to be in Porterville to participate with us. So anyway, though, I'm Jackie, and I'm super stoked to have all of you. A lot of you are brand new to me. I only see a few of you that I know. So this is exciting, and welcome. I want you to feel like I'm accessible to you. So I want you to know that you can email me anytime, day or night. And I usually have a pretty quick turnaround. Let me just give my email address here. I have a quick turnaround time, usually within, 24 hours. And yeah, so email me if you have any questions or if something's going on or if your computer takes a dump or something crazy like that. I'm here for all of that. So, yeah, so you can email me anytime and then, or you can come and see me. My office hours, are Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I'm just going to say Tuesday too, because I'm there every day. So, and I'm there from 10 to 5 or so. And, I run the art club, so I'm very involved and I'm always around. So I'm not hard to get a hold of or to come by and say hi. And I would love that. I would love to meet you. If you are on campus, feel free to come by. We're going to have some cool art shows, and I would love for you to be involved. So basically, the course description, I'm going to go over the syllabus and then kind of get you going on your first assignment. So this course focuses on the creation and editing of digital images using Photoshop. Students in this course will learn to fuse traditional artistic concepts with contemporary digital tools to create original artwork. So yeah, so this class isn't really going to go, we're not going to go too far into creating a logo, creating all these assets. We call them assets in the graphic design world. This is kind of getting your feet wet in what is art and how do I make art digitally. If you're not used to that, that's what we're going to kind of discuss. So we are going to talk about, making our own websites and making our own things. But this class is just an intro class of different types of fun types of art that we could make. We're going to play with collage. We're going to play with an avatar as your first assignment. We're going to do a mythical creature. We're going to play with animated GIFs. We're going to make a music poster. We're going to have a lot of fun in this class. It's actually a really great intro class. I think it's better than the one I took 20-something years ago in community college. But that's just me. But, I'm biased. Anyway, so some of the student learning outcomes, hopefully by the end of this class, you'll be able to define and effectively work with raster-based artwork. That's actually the topic of discussion this week. It's going to take maybe a week or two. I've already turned in your list to the IT department, but I have to make sure you get into Adobe. Adobe is its whole, they have this huge firewall. They've really tried to track you. In my day, you could pirate Adobe. It wasn't a big deal, but now they really got us. So hopefully you'll be able to use your student ID to log into Adobe. Unless you already have an account, then don't worry about that. But if you can't get into Adobe and download it on your own, please contact me by the end of this week, okay? So first of all, we're going to be learning about raster-based. What is raster-based artwork for screen and print? We're going to correct and enhance photographs. We're going to play with that. We're going to play with photos. We're going to create original artwork and compositions, and then we're going to critique and express design concepts. So since this is an online class, you're going to be critiquing each other in discussion boards. And then I'll be offering my own critiques of your work via, Canvas. So some of the objectives are to perform appropriate document setup and set up proper file formats. We're going to learn what is a JPEG, what is a PNG, what is a TIFF, what is a RAW file, what are all these different files? Why are there so many file types, right? When do I use a GIF? When do I not use a GIF? Consider and utilize the appropriate tools to accomplish these tasks, right? There's the painting and drawing section. There's the history section. There's photo retouching. There's erasing. There's filtering. There's effects. There's cropping. There's so much that goes on in Photoshop. I'm still learning, honestly. I've been working and teaching Photoshop for, I started teaching 10 years ago. So I've been teaching it for 10 years, but I worked in it since I was 20, since I was your age. And I'm 40 something. So, do the math there. So, you're going to be able to create photo collages using layering techniques. We're going to play with layer masks, layer effects, blending modes. We're going to devise an informed color scheme. We're going to figure out colors, understand color output, formulate image adjustments. That's for print. We probably won't be doing much print, but we're going to discuss it. We're going to assemble source material through photographs or original artwork and web searches. So you're going to go out on the web and maybe sketch something and turn it into something else. And then organize tools, the panels, and the navigator. We're going to evaluate, understand appropriate typography. When do we use playful fonts? When do we use Helvetica? Or when do we use what fonts are optimized for these things, right? They're sans serif fonts, right? We don't use serif fonts for screens because they're harder to read. And we're going to discuss serif fonts. Serif fonts are the little dingies. Like Times New Roman, that's a serif font. When you think of Roman numerals, and that kind of font that they chiseled into the stone, that's a serif font. So things like that, we're going to learn a lot of different fun things. It's going to help you on your journey as an artist, but also just as a human on this planet trying to navigate whatever this world that we're living in. And we're going to critique and hopefully discuss some design concepts and produce, hopefully by the end of this class, you'll have a pretty good portfolio of work that you've done in Photoshop that you could show. So how I'm going to grade you is 70% is going to be projects, assignments. I think we have at least 5 to 10, depending on how fast the class goes, assignments. Maybe each week or every other week, depending on how complicated your assignment is. I will let you know each week. I will chime in and send you a video or send you an announcement or let you know what's going on every week. So you should check back every Monday or so. I usually update, today's Monday, but it's a holiday, but I usually update my online classes on Sundays. So then you're ready to go for the next week on Monday. So try to stay up on that and check your announcements because that's where I tell you things. So you're going to need a reliable computer. That is a big deal. So again, if your computer sucks and you like this class isn't going to work if you have a Chromebook. It's just not. A Chromebook is not powerful enough to run Photoshop. Photoshop is a very robust program and it crashes your computer. You need a lot of RAM. What is RAM? RAM are the chips in your computer that it's called random access memory. And that's the memory that can store. So like all the different functions that can happen on a computer. So making sure you have a reliable computer and a camera. Or no, we don't really need, a camera to take photos. A camera or a phone, both, either, that's fine. And then, so this week, your first assignment is to create an avatar. And so each week we're going to have an assignment and then, it'll be due by next week. And then our next assignment's a collage. Then we've got portraits. Then we've got a music poster. And then we're going to turn that into an animated GIF. Then we've got mythical creature, and then we've got self-portraits using AI or not. And tell me why you're not going to use AI and how much you hate it. Because I have, everybody has a love-hate right now, and it's a great topic of discussion for this class, so I'm all about hearing your ideas. So that's pretty much how the class is going to be laid out. And here is our academic accommodation. And, oh yeah, adding and dropping. Okay, so February 2nd. If you do not want to take this class, or if this class is too much for you, or your computer's not working, you need to drop this class by February 2nd to get your money back and to not get a F in the class. So I don't always, especially with online classes, it's hard for me to pinpoint if you're going to stay in the class. So make sure you decide whether or not you want to be in this class in the next 2 weeks, okay? It's very important for your academic integrity and for me to not have to give you an F because you dropped too late. I can drop you, but it's still going to give you a W. So it's just better if you do it. Try not to have late work. You can access me. You can also come and visit me. So I'm very accessible. I'm around. I'm here for you. And yeah, this is an animated GIF right here. So, and it's not very complicated to make. And it talks about frame by frame animation. So that's another thing. I also teach an intro to animation, which is another class, which is in person, but it's also hybrid. So you could take that too if you don't want to go down the Photoshop rabbit hole. But anyway, that's pretty much the syllabus. Your first assignment is to, let's just take a look at home here. So we just went over the syllabus. Here I am. I'm going to put this video in here. Here's a little bit about me. I'm still redoing my websites. Oh yeah, this one is not, that one's not live right now because I'm redoing it right now. I did graduate from the San Francisco Art Institute. It just closed. It's very sad. It was the oldest art school west of the Mississippi. It started in 1871. So yeah, and then I went to Seattle and I taught there for 3 years, and then I've come back to California and I've taught all over California. I used to be at Napa Valley College, and then I got this great gig here at Porterville. So I'm here in Porterville. I live on an almond farm. There's a lot to discuss about me. Just come by and say hello. Here's something I found out. So I was in this conference, and I found out, I don't know why I didn't know this, but I've only been here, this will be my second year. So you guys have access to free healthcare just by being a student. You can access a virtual medical and mental health care person. So you can just sign up for Timely Care and download the app, and you can access anybody to ask about any kind of thing. So it doesn't just have to be about mental health if you're struggling. Say you have some cough that you don't understand what's going on. You could access this for free. So if you don't have healthcare, you can use this. This is a free tool. Use it. The school pays for it. So I just found that out. I put this here so you know that you can get a wellness checkup, or just check in with yourself and your health and make sure you're okay. So getting Photoshop on your computer is a thing. So I started doing this step by step, and it's not done yet. But basically, you need to download Adobe first on your computer, okay? And then it's going to come up with this. And what your email address is your Porterville. Sign in with your PC or Bakersfield account if you're a Bakersfield student. Do not use your personal account. Do not use your personal Gmail. It's not going to work. You have to use your Porterville, unless you already have an account with Adobe and you're paying for it by yourself. But you have to use your Porterville account, okay? If you have a problem with this, you might need to come by and see me if you can't get into Adobe. So this would be the very first thing you're going to do this week, okay? Before you start on the assignments, before you do anything, I want to know that you're in Adobe, okay? So then this week, we're figuring out the Adobe license. Is that the right link? Yes, good. And then we are doing a tutorial. So okay, so if you don't know what an avatar is, what is an avatar? A lot of kids do know what an avatar is because you play a lot of video games. But let's just define it. What is an avatar? So it is a... Oh, wow. Okay, so this is the deep meaning behind an avatar. But for right now, it's an icon or figure representing a person in video games, internet forums, or for this class, I want to see your avatar. So what does that look like? What is a person's avatar? It's a graphical representation of you. Okay, so what does that look like? So the assignment that I just gave you right here, oops, sorry. The assignment that I just posted here, right here, this tutorial allows you to go into Photoshop and start figuring out how to make a picture of yourself from how to take a photo of yourself and turn it into a cartoon. So that is your assignment, is to take a photo or give me a symbol. It doesn't have to be a picture of you per se. It can just be a representation, a graphical representation of you, okay? So that is what I want. So your first assignment is to do an avatar, and you have a writing assignment as well. What is a pixel? Why is it important for a multimedia artist to understand what images are made of? I want you to answer these questions. So I want you to have to go look it up and find out what is a pixel, what is a raster image? What is the difference between a vector image and a raster image? Why is that important? Why are things pixelated and why are they not? Understanding that is the very first beginning of everything, okay? So it's a short little writing assignment, 5 sentences. I don't need a lot. So this week you're figuring out your avatar, you're trying to install Photoshop, and you're understanding raster images. You're doing a short writing assignment. So I've uploaded week 1 and week 2. Your assignment for create an avatar is actually going to be the end of week 2. So let me give you a little bit more time on this. Let's see here. So let's see. So next week, so it would be the 2nd of February, which is the last day to drop so you can get money back and get the credit. So make sure, so by the time, if you haven't done an avatar in the next 2 weeks, then maybe you should not take this class, okay? I'm just cautioning you. I don't want you to fail. I'm all about, I hate failing students. It's like my least favorite thing to do as a teacher. It sucks. It's not fun. So anyway, that's pretty much it for this week. I've got an intro to the interface here. Here's how step-by-steps, how you open up Photoshop, how you import a picture. I will go over that even more in depth next week. Here is the beginning, get to know Photoshop fundamentals tutorial. They have step-by-steps. You can practice it in the app, and they have videos here.
When you're just getting started with Photoshop, it's helpful to understand the workspace right from the beginning. Knowing how to work with the workspace elements and how to zoom and pan around your image will make it much easier to work on your creative projects. My name is Rob de Winter, an Adobe certified instructor, author and designer from the Netherlands. And in this video I'll guide you through the essential parts of the Photoshop interface.
But basically you're just going to play around.
These panels allow you to manage and modify different parts of your project. You can switch.
And you're going to play with you're going to just look at the interface. So I'm going to go over this some more next week, but this is just a quick tutorial for you to kind of get started and start thinking about Photoshop and how it works. And that's here in week 2, get to know Photoshop tutorial, okay? Learn how to zoom. So that's what we got this week. I'm super stoked to have you guys here. And again, if you need me, if you have any questions, if something is not working, please reach out to me, okay? I am available. I'm here for you. And yeah, let's have a great first week. Okay, bye.